right now. I don't want to be deluged with it because there's too much going on. But
well, hello everyone. It's Michael Dotterer here,
some of the systems in the hospital,
and I am here in Southern California. And our special guest, Udana Power, is on a conference call right now. So she's on a Zoom conference call, and we're streaming live on StreamYard.
Michael is talking.
No, I'm actually.
He's doing hand signals.
No. Actually, what I'm doing, Udana, is I sent you an email, Udana, and we've started our interview with you on the other network. So you guys continue talking. You guys continue talking.
I've got an appointment I've got to go to myself. But
so in any event, so Udana's going to switch over, and I don't know if you can hear her in the background, but Udana has an amazing career or background. Udana, let me just read to you her bio. And hi, Udana. Okay, I'm talking to Udana. I'm on StreamYard. Go to your email. Go to your email, Udana, and you'll see the invitation. You'll see the invitation to StreamYard. Just follow those directions.
Thank you for your time on the dot. Wait a second. What do I do?
Just go to it. Tells you what to do. And in any event, everyone there.
Join me on StreamYard.
Yep. So just follow that instructions.
Okay, I'm doing that. Is it going to take me off of Zoom?
Yep, I'm going to click off now. I'm going to click off of Zoom. Here we go. Ending Zoom. Okay. So any event, everyone, Michael Dotterer here. Hello. There's 3 people watching. Hello. I'm in Southern California, and we're going to have Udana Power come on any minute now. And she's an amazing woman. Let me just read to you her background. I went to IMDb and just because she was an actress or still is an actor. I mean, I used to say actress, but now everyone's an actor. So she is an actor, and I'm going to read to you her IMDb bio. And let's see, before she comes in here, let me just see if she comes in. Oh, she hasn't come in yet. So here's her biography. Vivacious, talented, beautiful, and charming, Udana Power has been wowing audiences for over 4 decades. Over the course of her long and noteworthy career, Udana starred on Broadway opposite Katharine Hepburn. She guest starred opposite many stars like William Shatner, Henry Winkler, and Suzanne Somers. And she had her own television series, and she appeared in over 250 TV commercials. And so she's just an amazing woman. And I met Udana, gosh, this must have been maybe 15 years ago, between 10 and 15 years ago. And here she comes. Here she comes.
I had to find out. You had to get another browser up and running. Hi.
Hi, Udana.
Hi.
I'm just introducing you. So just stand by.
Okay.
I'm going to introduce you. So any event, Udana, you can see how beautiful she is. She's right there. Udana, we met, I'm just thinking, let's see here. As I said, 10 to 15 years ago. And we met with a company that really got intermittent fasting started. The term intermittent fasting, this company, they were the first. And they started back in 2001. And I met Udana at that company. They were a network marketed company focused on health and wellness. And when I saw Udana, I just went, wow, what a glow, what an amazing woman. And you could see there she is smiling, she's laughing. And I'm going to bring her in just 2 seconds here, but she's amazing. And what we did is we formed a friendship and we got to know each other. And I remember when she called me once and said, Michael, we need to teach people how to employ themselves. We need to teach people how they can be their own boss, because so many Americans, when you look at our educational system, we are, whether it's kindergarten, elementary school, junior high school, and college, most of us are taught study hard in school and then go get a job and work for someone else. Most of us are like that. Well, in the last 30 or 40 years, our economy is shifting. And one of my heroes, William Drucker, Peter Drucker, not William, Peter Drucker, who taught marketing at Harvard Business School for 40 years, plus years, then went to Claremont here in Southern California, and it's now called the Peter Drucker School of Management. And Peter Drucker wrote a book before he passed away. He lived until his 90s, and he wrote a book called The Knowledge Economy. And that we are now in an environment we have access to all the knowledge, whether it's health and wellness or it's science. It's available to every one of us as long as we have an internet connection or a phone. And virtually everyone on the planet has a cell phone. It's pretty amazing what's going on. And I know that because I worked in the industry. But what I'm saying with Drucker is Drucker understood our economy was shifting, and he said the greatest challenge we have is to teach people how to employ themselves. And that is what Udana been working on for the past decade. Plus, she shared it's called franchise, not franchise, franchise. And she's going to explain to you what that means. But basically, she is the Eric Worre, the female Eric Worre of the network marketing industry. And in my personal opinion, I love Eric. I know Eric. I've listened to many of his programs, and he's fantastic. But I'm telling you right now, if it's a draft pick, my first pick is Udana over Eric, because women tend to be able to teach. I mean, women teach in a different way than men. And I love the way Udana is teaching all of us how to employ ourselves with the franchise concept. So Udana, welcome. And I'm going to just turn on your mic. Welcome.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Wow, I'm honored to be here.
Well, Udana, could you share with our audience, because I may have missed something about your background, but the genesis of franchise and what you're doing and how you went from being an actor to getting involved in network marketing, and then realizing that people need to understand the power of geometric growth and how you can be in business for yourself, but not by yourself, all these things. So I'm going to let you go ahead and let everyone know, because there's people watching on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch Live. Everything's live. We're being broadcast all over the world.
Okay, well, thank you for having me. And I just want to say hi to everyone. And I'm really kind of honored to be here. And my experience is that network marketing is the most misunderstood and undervalued business model in the world. And for a couple of reasons, and I'll just talk briefly about them, but how to make it work. And my background was, I never wanted to be anything else but an actor. I was an actress and a singer. I started on Broadway opposite Katharine Hepburn, the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, the Mark Taper Forum, and did over 200 commercials. And, everybody remembers I was Deidre, the beatnik, and Happy Days. There was a lot of guest starring I did and had my own series. And I ended up in my mid-30s really sick with a thing called Candida albicans. It took me 10 years to figure out what it was and to get better. And I became a screenwriter. But in the meantime, this whole thing about making money, it hadn't occurred to me to really focus on it because of all my commercials, money just grew up in the living room out of the carpet, right? Residual income. So when suddenly I realized, wait a minute, it's harder to, I jumped out of the frying pan into the fire. At one point I stepped back and I said, okay, I'm going to do money. Because that was not my primary goal, but there had been 3 strikes here in Hollywood, and people were losing their businesses and their homes and stuff during that year, and some of my projects caved. And I said, I've got to figure out how to do money. And I was introduced to this industry. And I failed a couple of times because I didn't understand it. And then I stumbled into a company that had a product that was so spectacular and gave me such great results, and that I ordered every month because it was food. I eat, so I wanted to feel good and I ate the food. Changed my life completely. And because I had done research and understood what this industry could be, I said, wait a minute, this might be it. And I went on to become one of the top earners in the company and making really a serious income, residual income, because I was helping people. And I realized I didn't think of myself as a salesperson. I'm an educator. I teach. I taught singing. I'm a master singing teacher. I've taught screenwriting and worked with production companies about that because I understand the infrastructure. I don't know why I can see it, but I see it. My dad was an engineer. I think I got some of those brain cells. So as my team was exploding. It was, really great. But I would ask people who were working really hard, do you know how the money works? And they would go, I would just, a deer in headlights. They wouldn't understand. And it was really frustrating because I'm making a ton of money and I'm working my butt off. However, my people were not able to get there because they didn't quite understand. So I was making so much money, I could step back and really think about this and travel and study. I studied how the brain works, how we learn, how it retains information. And I had this idea to do a thing. I thought if people treated their home-based business like they had just bought a franchise, they would not only be in profit within a week or two, they would be making money and they'd be making multiple six figures very quickly. And most people with a franchise or people who are lining up to own a franchise, they are surprised. I've talked to franchise owners that they just bought themselves an 80-hour-a-week job managing teenagers. That was kind of their shock. So I said, I got to put this down. So that's coined the word franchise, where we're all coming together. And I call the training executive training for conscious entrepreneurs. And it's really, really simple. We're just getting it up now. I had it all up and I've had beta teams go through and they go, oh my gosh, I finally understand this. So it's real simple, real easy. And it's about, first of all, we have to understand how exponential growth works. And when people were getting into a network marketing company, they seem to be getting these three things kind of confused. Number one, it's the product. What is it that turns your lights on and makes you so excited? You go, oh, I love this. I'd be using it no matter what. Something that people order. Again, you get down to the bottom of a package or a canister and you go, oh, give me some more. And you order it again and again because that's your residual income. That's how that works. But then you want to have, you have to understand how the business works, actually how it is and how you talk to people as well and how you follow up. And just the basic paradigm and aligning it with your values. So you get up every day and just do it, And then the other part is self-development. We actually have to start changing our belief systems. So what we think we can have, sometimes that's called your havingness, can be, because a lot of people have a lot of conflicting ideas about money. So there's those three things. And what I wanted to teach first was what to look for and what to avoid. And we're going to talk a little bit about this now because it's really important. What to avoid and also how profoundly it can change your life. And when you get it right, it can give you freedom to do whatever you want. And fortunately, with our cell phones here, you can be working from the comfort of your cell phone anywhere in the world because of what's going on. So as we are now, we can work from home or wherever you are. And the really hard stuff is handled, like the stuff that people have to go to Wharton Business School to learn how to do, or Harvard Business School, about supply chains and accounting and customer service and with packaging and developing the product and having it tested and coming up with the whole thing. That stuff is really, really hard. Basically, all we do is build teams of people who are using the product and loving it and giving them an understanding about exponential growth, how long it takes for things to grow, and how to talk to people. Because one of the biggest problem is everybody comes in to this wonderful industry and they're passionate about something they got that was fabulous, and they are told to go out and tell all your friends and tell all your family. And because people are not trained how to do that, is they go out and start trying to water the roses with a fire hose. I've had people try to sell me stuff, but I'm not even part of the conversation. They just go on and on and on. It's like, they don't even care what I want and need. Anyway, so those are things I'm covering. And I just share one thing that I learned from, because I did a lot of research on this. I became a researcher when I started screenwriting. I research and research and research until it goes, oh, that's what it is. So a Dr. Charles King, he taught marketing at the University of Illinois in Chicago. And one of his students raised his hand. He said, Dr. King, what about network marketing? And Dr. King says, oh, that's a bunch of hooey. And he said, and the young kid said, well, did you ever study it? And he said, no, it's not worth studying. And this kid said, gee, Dr. King, if I had answered that on a test, you would have flunked me. So Dr. King said, okay, you're on. We're going to go out and study it for 6 months. And they did. Dr. King came back and said, you know what? This is the most important business model to come along since franchising. There's a whole process of distribution. And he began teaching it at the university level. And one of the things he said you want to look for a product that everyone wants and needs. So that would mean not just makeup, because maybe some men wear makeup, but not a lot of men, and not just pots and pans, because you buy that once for a long time. I've got, not just cutlery or things to put things in the refrigerator with. You want something that everyone wants and needs, men, women, and children. Whoa. So when I stumbled into the concept that I was using healthy food, it was like, oh. And then at the end of the point, people, and nutraceuticals. I mean, everything is being delivered to us right now. So that was one thing, a choice. And you get paid a percentage of everybody's groceries. Everybody does it. Oh, wow. And some people don't want to do the business at all, but you want something that everyone wants and needs and orders again and again and again. And you want to have a company that understands what network marketing is and really good management, a culture of people that starts from the top and that extends into the field. And there's an energy system about that. And there's a science behind that. And it's called a morphogenetic field. So a field of energy is created like a huge wave, and it brings us all forward. So you want to make sure that you like the culture and that the people managing have experience with network marketing, because when a network marketing company starts to grow, they grow exponentially, which means that this goes like this, and then this goes like this, and then and then it grows like this. And it goes this, and if you're not prepared for it, if management isn't prepared for it, those kind of companies can go off the rails. So those are just a few things to look for. And Michael, are you there? I'm looking for you. Is there anything? Do you have any other questions? Where are we?
I'm here. Well, Udana, you are just so wonderful. I am so excited that you're going to be helping the 401 network. And the 401 network basically is a portfolio of companies that reward sharing. And what's happened, and you've seen this in the last 4 or 5 years, Udana, people will have a job, but because of inflation, a lot of people need to have a second job and a third job. And we call that the gig economy. So you may be in a full-time job, but not keeping up with inflation, and you need to make an extra $200, $300, $400, $500 a month. I mean, $500 a month, as we know, Udana, can change a person's life.
Absolutely.
An extra $500 a month.
I have read that extra $500 a month will save marriages. save people from going bankrupt, just that extra 500. You also want to have something that you can do in the pockets of your time, here and here and here, and how to make it work. But you also have to be able to understand how that, it's like, the penny doubled. We all know about that. And I have a little thing that everybody does. You have to fill it in yourself, because here, again, you can say, oh, the penny doubled. What'll I get? Do I want a penny doubled every day or $1 million now? And people go, whoa, $1 million now. Or some people go, oh, no, I know. It's actually more than that. I'll take the penny doubled every day. And you find that if you do the exercise, the penny doubled every day, because I have a little exercise you go through, a lot of people are shocked that it looks really stupid at the end of the first week. And the end of the second week, it's like, oh my God, what are we doing? The end of the third week, they're going, what? And the end of the fourth week, Michael, you know how much it is. How much are people earning? What would you have left on the table if you just chose $1 million? Do you know? Do you remember?
Millions.
It's 10 million. 31 days, it's $10 million. So if it's only 30 days, it's 5 million. But so because I understood that, and it had stuck somewhere in here, I went, oh, the more people I help, the more people, I'm doing this leg. So the more people I talk to on this leg, I didn't know how it all worked. All I know is that I just had to, once I realized that the more people I help, the more the company paid me. And if I help people grow a business, I could work with them, and the more people, more the company paid both of us. But see, this is why I call it executive training for conscious entrepreneurs. It's win, win, win. I win because I'm helping other people, and I like that. And the more I help them, the more the company pays both of us, and the more we win, all the money, what comes back, and we're helping people and feeling great about ourselves, the company gets a loyal customer base. Also, the other part about conscious entrepreneurship, in my opinion, is it brings us more consciousness. I mean, I love the products that I'm using. They help my health. They help me stay young, and they help me, kick some butt and have a lot of fun, because it's no fun contemplating, dragging around an oxygen tank, which I was at one point because of the candida. I insisted to my doctor, tell me about an oxygen tank, and I thought, oh, wait a minute, this isn't the answer. I went to pick it up, and it was all battered and ugly, and I looked at it, and I thought, that's not going to work for me. And I turned around and went to the health food store, and, I have not turned back, but that's how bad I was. I wanted to get an oxygen tank for my home and for my car, and anywhere I might be working, as if like an actress is going to be able to drag her oxygen tank along afterwards. That was many, 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 many years ago. And because of using nutrition and intermittent fasting and all of these things, my whole body got cleaned out and rejuvenated. And I'm like, most people are slowing down at my age, and I'm just speeding up. I'm having fun. So that's freedom. It's about freedom. It's not about just money. It's about freedom to live the life you want, to be creative, and not to be sucked dry by time constraints of a job. I was going to say something else. I can go on for this because I'm passionate about it. There you go.
Well, that's enthusiasm. Enthusiasm, the Greek origin of enthusiasm is God within. And Udana, you have entheos. Entheos is God within. So when anyone has enthusiasm, just know that whatever your conception of God is, it's in you, Udana, because you have enthusiasm. Entheos.
Can I say one other thing about this business, whatever business you're doing? Yeah. It's real important that people get trained and trained quickly. And that's what I've seen. I haven't seen that. So that's kind of what I wanted to put in place, that they go step by step. Oh, it's easy. Oh, I can do this a little bit at a, oh, that's how it works. Oh, it's step by step. Oh, and see, one of the challenges, we all come from different places. There's moms that are just at home with kids, and I came from acting and performing. I don't care about money. What's that? You know, it grew, again, I thought it grew out of the carpet in the living room. When I was, said, my business manager said, I said, my training, my full training about money was shut up and sing. And I thought, wow, that works for me. Yeah, it did until it didn't work. So you want to be able to train people quickly. So this is designed that people do a little course. They can take 4 weeks to do it all, 1 article a day, or they can, with everyone's in little buddy teams, and they can take 2 weeks to do it all. If they want to go really fast, are you kidding? But we do a lot of journaling, a lot of ahawing by yourself, because every time you read an article, we all have bits and fragments of information. There's in the workbook, you write down, what did you learn? What was important to you? Not what do you think you should memorize, hello? But what was your big aha? Oh, I forgot. Oh, I knew that, but I didn't know how it connected with this. That's your aha. And then when you get together with your little buddy team of 3 to 5 people that you're going through this process with, you learn what their ahas are. And what we found is everybody's aha is different. They go, oh my gosh, I was like, and the process of doing this integrates the knowledge deeper and deeper into your cells. I guarantee that if you just read it and don't do any of this, what happens is you won't be able to use it. And the point was, if you're going to learn how to play piano, say piano or guitar, you do get a piano lesson. It depends how good the piano teacher is to learn how to play. But you actually have to practice, and you ultimately are teaching yourself. I have singing students, you got to practice. I can get you there. Give me 3 weeks. I'll show you exactly how it works, how to blend the middle of your voice, and you're cool. But you got to do it yourself in order and stumble forward and feel really stupid. So I encourage everybody to make a lot of mistakes, because the key is getting through your mistakes as quickly as possible. So we do that. We have to bring other teams back, and you go through it again. So that's what I'm saying. Learn quickly.
Yeah, and what you're saying, I always love to, and people have heard me say this, and I don't know who said it. Maybe it was Zig Ziglar. We fail our way to the top.
Yes, exactly. Fail forward. Yep. John C. Maxwell has that book, Failing Forward, I think. You bumble your way forward like a kid learning to walk. We talk to ourselves so poorly. Like when we go, oh, I did such a bad thing, I'm so bad. And if you had a toddler that was learning to walk and they're stumbling around and they fall over, we go, oh, look at you, oh. Or they go, Mama. We go, oh, he spoke, oh, my darling. And you're learning. Do we treat yourself like a toddler? Wow, I actually made that phone call. Oh my gosh, I learned something, rather than beat yourself up. You got to get in there like it's a playground. It's like you're getting the clay and you're just putting it on that, whatever that is, that spinner they use, and it's flying off all over the place. You got to go in and have fun.
That's the key, Udana. You got to have fun. And you have that inner child that we have. That inner child that we have, that sometimes we, over the course of life, life has some hardships, and many of us, and I've included, you can become cynicism. And that's why you're saying is, if you want to have success, whatever you do, you got to love what you do, and then you have to have fun. And that fun is that childlike, feeling like, golly, I just made my first call, even though they may have hung up on me. That was fantastic, right?
Can I share a quick short story that's really important?
Please.
Okay, my friend Charlene is a producer, and so she was producing Pasadena Civic Light Opera, the auditorium, when the Dalai Lama came to town. And he only came on the last day because of security reasons, but she was there with one of the monks, and there were a lot of people who were contributing their time to it. And she was sitting there with this monk, and this one woman came up very, very upset about this, and there wasn't enough of this, and where was that? And she went on and on and on, and then she looked at him, And then the monk just looked at her and he started laughing. He goes, oh! He kept laughing and belly laughing. And then he finished and he just looked at her and she was stunned. And then she went on again. She said, well, I'm blah, 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 and this isn't my blah, blah, blah. And he just started belly laughing again. And then the woman turned around in a huff and left. And Charlene is like going, oh, what do I do now? And the monk leaned over to her and he said, we are not required to eat their anxiety. And that's it. Is that wonderful? We're not allowed. We're not required to eat anyone's anxiety. We're not required to eat anyone's negativity or their limited thinking or their perception. We can get great ideas. People are wonderful. We learn from people, but we're not required to eat their anxiety.
Well, Udana, remember we talked earlier today about the book, The Four Agreements?
Yes.
And one of the first agreements, I think number one is don't take anything personal.
Yes. Yes.
And
yes.
yeah, don't take anything. And just to read, personal, just to read, because I will read this to everyone because this comes right out of the books, the Four Agreements. It basically says, don't take anything personal. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. Don Miguel Ruiz, and he's the author.
And what did he say about ethics? What was that one about being ethical?
Well, the other, it's the Four Agreements. And here's the first agreement. Well, actually, the second agreement was don't take anything personal. The first agreement is be impeccable with your word. And to dig deep into that, that means speak with integrity, say only what you mean, avoid using the word to speak against yourself or gossip about others, and use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love.
See, that resonates. And a lot of times, I think about all this stuff at night. I'm up all night just journaling and stuff, and because this stuff downloads, and I'm excited about it. But the other couple of months ago, I was thinking, we really want to tell the truth because that's our power. When we start trying to make ourselves small so we don't get somebody angry or we don't. So how do you tell the truth in situations? And I came up with a little formula, just downloaded, and it goes like this. Tell the truth with love and a sense of humor. You can tell someone you're acting like an a-hole, but I love you anyway. Tell the truth. And you may have to think about this a little bit because it's profound. And there's all kinds, I still get it. There's when we trigger and wait a minute, we don't have to react, but you don't have to make yourself small just so that they won't be angry. You don't even have to say anything. But when you tell the truth with love and a sense of humor or a sense of levity, it's pretty profound. You get to retain your authenticity, your wholeness. And it's something to contemplate. It's something, one of those kind of thoughts and things that you grow into. It's not something you go, oh, I got that. No, you grow into these kind of concepts. So I encourage you to think about that the next time you want to say something to someone and you want to open the doors, stay whole in yourself, but not get involved. Because I think fighting with people is actually a waste of your life energy because, it just takes time. So that's all. Yeah.
Well, everything we were talking earlier today, I had my cousin, Udana, on the dot, my cousin from New York, and he's he's a reader for the Orthodox Church, and we're talking about how love, what religion has done for him and Christianity is the love, the power of love, and how love can conquer all. I mean, good good wins over evil, in my opinion. I believe we live in the most exciting time in human history.
I do too.
We have more knowledge available to us. We now, I believe, Donna, I don't know if you want to talk about this, but I believe because we both met in the health and wellness arena.
Yeah.
We are moving from healthcare to self-care, taking responsibility for right?
Ourselves. Yes. Yes. When I had Candida, that was the biggest thing I learned. And it really annoyed me. I wanted somebody to give me a pill, just get it over with so I could get on with my life. And then I realized, I have to take responsibility for my life. Oh, phooey. I was really pissed off. And then I realized, so I had to just start exploring and experimenting. And I experimented with everything. I ran down lots of blind alleys. And what I really found was internal cleansing and the right nutrition. But, and as you said that about love, see, I think love, my spiritual teachers gave me the most profound teachings. And the one I learned that has lived with me again and again and again, it became a pillar of my life. Because when I discovered him, there were all of these books on, how to date and how to cover, and if the 3 calls and when would you sleep with him, or when would you do this, or when would you do that, and only if he buys me a house, or I'll do this, and you know what I mean? And my spiritual teacher, Osho, he said, become the loving and don't get stuck on particulars. And that has revolutionized my whole life, because what I realized in starting to live into that, I was doing, well, I'm going to love them if they love me first, but if everyone's thinking that, who's going to go first? So go first, be the one who loves first. It doesn't mean that you're a doormat. It doesn't mean that you can't say what you want. It just means you love and you enjoy the loving, because life is very, very short. You get to a point where you don't have time to waste. You want to love. Back to you. I'm talking too much. So there you are.
No, I love hearing you talk and share your wisdom and your knowledge, Udana. You mentioned about just a few 30 seconds ago that it reminded me of a book, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff.
Yeah.
Where life is full of adversity, but when you can laugh about it and smile and say, hey, that's fantastic, because I learned something. That's when, well, you know what? I wish I had known this when I played baseball. I was a pretty good baseball player. My dad was a major leaguer, and I remember striking out and I would get upset. And now I know when you strike out, gosh, you give the pitcher credit for throwing a good pitch or whatever, but you should be happy, because you know what you learned. Hey, you threw a curveball or a slider or a fastball or whatever, change up, knuckleball, but you learn from it. And the great thing is you get to get up the next time. You get to get up a next. It's not just one at bat. Most players in a game have 4 or 5 at bats. And Udana, the great thing about baseball is when you fail 7 out of 10 times in baseball, you're in Cooperstown. You're a Hall of Famer.
Yes. 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 And you know what I learned about, I was doing a lot of reading. And first of all, I've heard people talk about you and that you're not only pro football, you were pro baseball. And I love that video. If nobody's seen that video, you got to show them the video. You were on the playing field for Stanford, when the band thought the game was over. Somebody else got the ball. Oh, you had something there? Somebody else, you got to go.
Yeah, yeah. That was called the play. The play.
And the band came on, and somebody else got the ball, and they ran towards, and they ran through the band member, and the tuba got all dented up because you were there.
That was the play. It was famous. ESPN voted that the second most prolific sports moment in their history. Number one was the Miracle on Ice, where the Americans beat the Russians in 1980 at Lake Placid. Number two was the play where the Stanford band came on the field, and so it was nice to be part of that. I mean, obviously we were frustrated that the trombone player didn't make the tackle. Yeah, but in any event.
But you told me they still have the trombone under glass at Stanford, right?
Yeah, well, that's actually the trombone is in the College Football Hall of Fame because it's bent. You know, he hit him so hard the trombone bent, and they put that it's in the museum, the College Football Museum.
Oops.
Yep. Yep, and that's
really fun.
But anyway, so Udana, I want to actually flash down here. I'm showing the your IMDb, but I would like to flash if they want more information on franchise, or because I want to put that. Is there a website or something that someone can go to learn more about
yes, you can go to the franchise, THEFRIENDCHISE.com. I'm just getting the email up. It's been a lot to do this, so we're just getting this version of it up. Or you can email me at thefranchise@gmail.com. I just got the other email at the franchise up, but I'm not sure how to work it. And I'm hiring somebody to do all that for me. So it was enough to get all the downloads. But the franchise@gmail.com will come into my personal email box, and we'll hook you up if you're interested. And we just want you to know that you can do this. And all it takes is failing forward, deliberate practice. I was reading a lot about a lot of athletes, and the really great athletes, and like Mozart, we think, oh, he just did it. No, his father was a music teacher, and he had taught his daughter. Daughters were not allowed to play. So when he was a little boy, he gave a miniature violin, and those little kids at 6 and 8 years old were being toured all over Europe, playing violin to promote their father's teaching techniques. So he was doing this all of his life. And when I think it was Kobe Bryant, I read about him. Every time he'd make a mistake or miss a pass, he would be out there after the game on the court. He would be practicing 1,000 times. He would just practice that same shot again and again and again and again. And that's all we have to do. It's called deliberate practice. We get to fail a lot, make a mistake today, guys, and laugh it off. Have a good time. Go practice something deliberately. How can I do that? I bet that's what you did, Michael. You don't get to be that good. And that's the way people get good. Deliberate practice, and then just practice. It's not just play. It's like, I missed that. Let me stand different. Let me do this. Same thing with dancing. I'd missed the turn. Wait a second. No, wait a minute. My weight has to be here before I go to the turn. Oh, I forgot to hold up. All that things, you have to practice the little things in between, and then it looks like it's magic.
Well, this is what Malcolm Gladwell talks about. And I think The Outliers, one of his books, he says 10,000 hours. It really takes whatever whatever you do, whether it's acting or it's network marketing or it's building a car. He's looked at to become proficient, it probably takes about 10,000 hours. So in network marketing, Udana, what is that? Is that 2 years, 3? How long does it take to reach the top of a network marketing company on average?
Well, it depends on how willing you are to make mistakes and bumble forward and learn stuff. It really does. And because a lot of people don't take their network marketing business seriously because they don't really understand what it is. And they don't understand that idea of exponential growth. I got talk to a lot of people pretty soon. Oh, here's where the money starts happening. It starts out like a train in the station. It goes, ch, 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 and pretty soon it's racing across the countryside. Woo! And you can't stop it. I got over the 300 plus K a year, and I was able to just sit back and go, oh, it's sometimes called the 4-year career because you make a 4-year career. But then, oh, this is the other part. This is the only business I know that generates residual income. It used to be writers and musicians, and I'm a early investor in a company that literally monitors all the peer-to-peer downloads. And basically we find out that 96% of all music and movies and TV shows and games and even software are stolen. So I thought to myself, wow, if I'm an artist and I'm writing and creating and 96% of everything I write is stolen or given away for free, shared between friends, that's great for them, but I can't make a living. So I now have my own development company. We're working on screenplays with a production company, and I can pay my musicians. It's like, whoa. This is where the residual income is. And so if you're an artist, and if you learned how to play music, and if you're an artist, you learn how to sing or write, or if you learn how to paint and stuff, you spent time learning. I don't know how long it takes to learn this, but if you understand the fundamentals, because everyone comes in with a different background. Okay, that's one of the challenges of this. Everyone comes in from here, and they have some executives, and they understand money and business, and others are just, hey, moms. Some people like me come just stumbling in as an artist, and I don't know how that works, but let me at it. Because I need to make money, and I know I don't want to end up working at Wendy's, selling hamburgers to friends. I know that, and I know nobody else is going to pay my light bill. And one of the things when I was screenwriting, I had some really great projects, but then when it would get time to pay me, it would stretch it out and stretch it out because the screenwriter was like, we got the script. What do we need her for? And I still had to pay my attorneys, and I still had to pay my light bill and my rent, and I did have to eat. So when I sat back and looked at it, I just turned it upside down, and I thought, well, I'm going to learn this. And in my meditations, it came to me that you have to do this first and put some breadcrumbs through the forest for other people to follow how you did it and what happened and what you learned. Now you'll put it together yourself because this is also about creative problem solving, working with teams. What did I learn here? How does this, oh, that's how it works, and playing with it. But at the end, you have a thriving income. And basically, I think it's really smart to get paid to be healthy, because good health is like a thriving bank account. So if you choose something that's going to keep you healthy, it's food that you can ingest, it's going to go, oh, wow, there's all kinds of things you can use. But once you do that, you get paid to be healthy, then you're free to live the life you really want to live. And I believe that we are all have something tremendous to give to the world. Mine is different than Michael's, is different from whatever yours is, and it's buried in there someplace, this thing that you love to do more than anything, I don't know how to speak. Some people
I think Udana, there's no coincidence that health rhymes with wealth.
Yeah. But we want to become the loving and don't get stuck on particulars.
Right. Well, that's the other thing. No, I remember, and again, I remember a network marketer named Jeff Olson, who I met him in a company many decades ago, and he used to say, and I think he also took this from Zig Ziglar or something. But remember, this when people in this industry, network marketing, it's easy to do, and it's easy not to do.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you, Udana? Why when they say it's easy to do, but it's also easy not to do?
Yeah, well, it's easy to do. It's easy to do your meditations. Just sit and meditate for 20 minutes, if that, or visualize, or make a plan for the day. It's easy to do, but sometimes we just get up and get into business. We just start working. And at that point, you're not directional in your actions. You're not being fed by your own, you don't know how to, you can be bounced around by everything that happens. So it's easy to do, to sit down and, do the knowledge work before you get into your day. I'm going to really want to accomplish this, so you know what to say no to, easy to do, but most people don't do it. And it's easy to do, to pick up the phone and sometimes they call it the $2,000 phone because it's so scary. But it's just little simple things. It's easy to have a healthy shake in the morning, and it's easy not to do. We're all guilty of that. But if you do it, and you do it consistently over time, just a little bit every day, every day, every day. You don't miss, every day, every day. I saw a video I take all these classes, I love it, of a woman who learned how to dance, and she just practiced 45 minutes a day, every day for a year. And she videotaped it, and she started out looking really weird, like she couldn't move. And then day 20, she was a little bit better. And then day 86, she was starting to do some really interesting things. And by the end of the 365th day, the video shows, somebody set this up, maybe she did, but this train comes in and opens up. She comes tumbling out and starts doing all this fancy stuff that's all over the place. And it's like, holy mackerel, what is that? And it was really spectacular. If I can find it, Michael, I'll send it to you. All she did, 45 minutes a day, every day, without fail. So I picked that up and I thought, wow, I'm not going to the gym because I've got gyms here. That's what I love in my house and stuff like that. But I have it because of what's going on with in the world today. So basically I thought, wow, what I really want to do, and I would love to go dancing and stuff like that, but I want to explore the origin of movement itself. I thought, so I'm doing that for 45 minutes a day, every day, for a year, to find out how does movement open up in the body, and how, because that really intrigues me, because I've done dancing and ballet and modern and tap and Tai Chi and continuum and all of these things. And it's not like pounding my body to do something. I want to awaken something inside that excites me. So find out, if you do your business, not just go to class, not just read, but actually speak to people every day in a way that provokes their curiosity and gets them thinking about what they want and what they would reach for. Because if you can do that, and then you can say, wow, well, gee, I have all of this, they will have already sold themselves. This is not sales. Everybody hates to be sold something. And we all love to buy stuff. Did that answer your question? Yeah, we're almost an hour.
It did. Yes, we love to share. I guess we started in a show and tell. I like share and tell.
Yeah.
And then we really don't want to tell. I think you hit on this earlier. You want to listen. You want to find out what's going on with that person's life, and then hopefully. Yes. After you learn about what they're doing, they're going to maybe ask you what you're doing.
Yes, but you want to be helpful. That's one of the things I talk about in communication. The whole second module is about communication. You want to be helpful and have fun. You want to love people, be helpful, have fun. You want to learn how to ask questions This was huge. Ask a question, wait for the answer, and then acknowledge you got that answer. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Tell me more about that. That little phrase, tell me more about that. I spent $10,000 for a training, and that was the best I got out of that. That's a $10,000 tip, guys, okay? $10,000 for a training. Tell me more about that. And then when they start telling you more about it, you say, oh, that's interesting. Thank you. You acknowledge you got their answer, and then you ask them another question. So I have a little thing we call the guided conversation that I have people do a certification in. It's executive listening course. It's a guided step-by-step asking questions and waiting for the answer, acknowledging the answer, writing it down. Wow, that's interesting. And it takes people looking through, oh, yeah, what did I really want? What I really want to do is this. Oh, really? Well, tell me about that. And tell me about if you could do this, how would that be? Oh, how much money would you actually really like to make? Because if you're telling someone, hey, you'll make $300,000 a year. I know, I already did it. This is cool. You can do that. And they're thinking maybe 60 or 65 would be great. You're not going to be in the reality at all. They're going to shut down. They're going to go, well, this person's just crazy. But if you tell somebody who's looking to make 300, 400, 600,000 a year, which is doable in this industry if you do it right, you tell them, oh, gee, you can make $70,000 a year. They're not going to be interested. You have to ask them what they want and need, and then sometimes you have to shut yourself up. So that's a training. They get a certification in executive training for conscious entrepreneurs. Do 100 of these. And by number 58, you'll be going, oh, that's how it works. Anyway, here we go.
Udana, tell me
What?
more about that. Tell me more about that, Udana.
That's core to the whole training. That's your whole business. Your whole business is talking to people. But you got to talk to people in a way that they go, oh, wow. And if you talk to them about them, not you, it's about who they are, what they're looking for, what's going on in their lives, you'll find people are amazing. It's like unwrapping these gifts that they're just stunning. And some people are interested and some people are not. And you go, wow, thank you for your time. This was really great. You helped me a lot. But most people have something they're looking for in their health that they're looking. You can't tell them what it is. You don't know until they tell you. And most everybody wants to make money. And listen, the searches now for how to make money from home, right now, it's gone up. Last year, it was up over 300%. I don't know what it is now. But people are looking. But they are not looking to be sold. You have to ask them. This is the best way. Is you ask the questions, you want to be on their side. Wow, let me help you get that. I spoke to a woman the other day. She was looking for something completely different. And I know somebody who had something. I said, let me hook you up over there. She's, oh my gosh, that's great. Thank you. It had nothing to do. I couldn't do that. You want to get in the habit of that. Hi, how are you doing? You want to be immediately on their side. You want to help them get what they want. And they know it. And then be sincere about it. And don't go out and go looking for people. I'm going to get somebody today. Go out and give to somebody today. It's a balance. We have to be paid for our time and what we're doing to pay our light bill. But it's about there's a book called The Go-Giver. Be a go-giver, not a go-getter. Did that answer?
Tell me more about that, Udana.
Really well. See, it just gets the flow going, doesn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
I want to thank you. I want to thank you for saving me $10,000.
It was worth it. It was worth it.
We are coming up on a world record for On the Dot. Udana Power on the dot, we're setting a world record, and that record is we are coming up to 1 hour on the dot. Isn't that amazing? We've got an hour.
An hour. How long do you usually go?
It doesn't, you know what I love about where we are today? This channel, this network, Udana Power on the dot, we don't break for commercials. We don't cut you off because, you know, we just let you talk, and we want you to share your passion, what you love to do, because when you share your passion, you brighten the world. You know, there's two things you do. You either brighten the world or you dim it. There's no in between. And Udana, you brighten the world. No doubt about it.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for asking me here. And thank you all. And just really a pleasure.
Well, Udana, I just again want to let everyone know, if you see that little ticker tape going across the bottom, to learn more about Udana Power, go to www.thefriendchise.com. Not to be confused with franchise, thefriendchise.com. And Udana,
and they
do you
can
have
also,
any?
Yes.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
You can also go to thefranchise@gmail.com, because again, this website's just going up just for now. We will be getting it up on teachable.com. It'll be available to everybody. But again, this is a big, huge, all of that stuff is learning curve for me. So what were you going to ask? Tell me more about that. Okay.
Yeah. Well, what we also do is that we want to thank our sponsors, and we'll start with a company that you've just discovered fairly recently.
Yes.
Why don't you share the company, because this is one of our sponsors, the company that you just joined, and you gave me some of the wonderful shake drinks. So go ahead and share that company.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I just discovered a phenomenal company called Zalevo, Zallevo. And it's cutting edge technology in food. See, I love well-being, and I'm at an age, I'm probably older than you think I am, but hopefully, but I'm at an age where I don't have time to mess around. And because I was so sick during my 30s, I don't want to mess around. And so I like cutting edge technology, the science behind some of this, won Nobel Prize, which is all jargon, I know, but my health is, I want it to be easy, add water and drink, get it done, but it's got to be, I don't have time to go through the aisles at Whole Foods and figure out what the little bit is and some of that. I want top-notch scientists to figure it out so that I can add water and drink. I don't have to wash a lot of pots and pans after every meal, and stay healthy and alive and feeling great. And so that's happening, and I'm feeling great. So the company's called Zalevo, Zallevo. And, you know, you can, my website there is fitandfabulous.life. So FITANDFABULOUS.LIFE. But you can find me through the franchise, you know, if you want to. So that's what I discovered. And it's stunning. I've seen people, I've been dropping weight really quickly, but my energy is going through the roof, and my brain is functioning like, it's doing great. Should we tell people how old we are, Michael, or we don't? Women don't tell how old they are, do they?
Well, no, you know what's great? We have freedom of speech in the United States, which is wonderful. And you can share, I will actually start. I am 60 years old, or 60 years young, I should say, 60 years young. And Udana mentioned a company that is helping sponsor this broadcast. I'm going to mention a couple other companies. We've got a company called Euphoria.
That's an amazing company. I just learned about it. Thank you for telling me. I'm actually like kind of stunned about it, and I'm all over it. I don't take my mind off of what I'm doing. Don't, one word, whoa, don't go. What's the first law of success? Do less and then obsess. However, I just want to say that is really important. So you keep talking. Tell us more.
Well, I'm just going to say Euphoria is a wonderful company that designs nutrition based on your DNA, which is very unique. For many years, it was very, very expensive. It's kind of like what Henry Ford did to the automobile. through the assembly line. He brought the price of the automobile to a point where most people could buy a car and they could explore America. Well, Euphoria is bringing nutrition, which is designed based on your unique DNA, which was thousands of dollars. If you go back a few years ago, thousands of dollars. They're bringing the price down so that all of us can afford great nutrition based on our unique DNA. I also want to thank Club Nirvana, which I've been working with for the past couple years, which is a virtual franchise. It's not necessarily network marketing, but it's a virtual dispensary, and it's in the world of cannabis, and cannabis is changing the way we think about health and wellness. And I was just reading today in the Wall Street Journal, they were talking about how do you deal with people that are using cannabis on a regular basis. And what people are realizing, because in the last couple of years, I've been using cannabis, and I'm not using it to get high. I'm using it to mitigate pain, to reduce my anxiety and stress, which in turn, my immune system is enhanced, which is very important. Immunity during this pandemic. Would you agree, Udana? Immunity?
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely.
And one of the great things about cannabis is it helps with sleep. It's the best that I've ever seen. I could give you story after story. So Club Nirvana is a sponsor, a company called Super Draft Pro. If you like sports, whether it's soccer, basketball, baseball, American football, MMA, whatever the sport is, there's a new trend happening, and it's called fantasy sports. And that's part of our 401 network. That's part of it. And there's another company for many of you that are really struggling. You've never had any success in network marketing. It's called 98 Unlimited. So those are companies that are part of the 401 network. And what I've discovered, Udana, is network marketing today is so much easier than it was in 1959 when Rich DeVos and Jay Van Andel started Amway. Think about what it was like when you had to buy the product and put it in your garage and blah, blah, blah. I mean,
ship it out, mail it. Oh my gosh.
And that's the point I want to say to everyone out there. All of us, we don't just use a cell phone or drink a certain water or wear clothes, whatever we do, whatever product or service that we use, if we like it or if we love it, what do we usually do, Udana, when we love something?
We share it. We let people know about it. Oh my gosh.
And Udana, we are moving toward a sharing economy, and everything is traced and tracked. Udana, I was at Udana's place a couple of days ago, and she showed me this wonderful chair. And she said, "This is the greatest chair in the world." And I said, "Udana, I want to take
look at this. Look at this." And it goes up and down. But I was sitting in my chair for so long, and it'll sit sideways. I can sit sideways. I can lean on it. And I sent him to it. I mean, it was expensive, but it's less expensive than having my neck freeze up, and it's called a Hag Capisco chair. For me telling you what that is, huh?
Udana, what I love about that chair, Udana, what I love about that chair is that you can, when you shared it with me, I said, well, let me take a picture of the barcode and hopefully your name's on there. When I order, that company, I hope, will reward you. They probably don't. But the future companies, the companies that really want to make a difference, not only be a great, to represent their product, but to help people in this changing economy, every great company is going to reward sharing. And all of the companies that we just mentioned, the company that Udana first mentioned, and these other companies that are sponsoring OnTheDot, all of them reward sharing, Udana. All of them.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. This is not your parents' network marketing. So, yeah. And I don't, it's just so good to be able to share something like this with somebody if they want it, but that's what it is. And it's changed my life. And I got one of those things that you go up and down with it like this. Oh.
Hey, Udana, when is the Udana? Because you come out of the entertainment industry. When is the? We used to say in network marketing, if you ever go, do you ever go to a great movie and you tell your
Yes.
friends about the movie? Does
Yeah.
Paramount Pictures send you a dime thanking you?
They don't. And
Not
I've
yet.
been recommending The Queen's Gambit and Lupin, Lupin. Everybody, they don't send me money for that.
But not yet. But the question is, Udana, because you've seen the entertainment industry change. When
Yes.
do you see the entertainment industry starting to take advantage and rewarding people for sharing? Like, for example, Apple TV has a great show called Ted Lasso.
Oh, I love Ted Lasso. Oh my gosh, we just started watching that.
Yes, you love that. And so what we're doing is we're promoting, but Apple Computer doesn't send us $1 in the mail, right?
No. But
So
you know
I
what?
was just saying, well, do
It
you think
opens
that?
up our hearts and how's this come together? Yeah.
Yeah, but do you think it'll ever
Yeah, I get
happen?
it.
Or do you think the entertainment industry will ever reward sharing?
I wouldn't know how they'd be able to, but you'll be able to figure it out. If anybody, I don't know how that would work, But I put my desk the wrong way, so we got to have our heads.
Jeff
We have to
Bezos.
have our heads even, huh?
Well, Jeff Bezos, when he started Amazon, he used to say, hey, when you read a good book, you share it with your friend, but Simon and Schuster doesn't reward you for it. Amazon may have been able to do that. And I just truly believe that because we're moving to our sharing economy, because of artificial intelligence, because jobs are being eliminated and our economy is shifting and people are looking around. And I was going to say earlier, the term side gig. How many people now have a side gig, Udana?
Yeah.
Side gig or even a double side gig, not just one side gig, but two side gigs.
Yes.
Because they're trying to pay for the mortgage or pay for their children's education or whatever it is. And so this is why what Udana has just shared with you, and again, you can see that franchise, it's thefranchise.com.
Yeah.
She is passionate about teaching people about passive residual income, not trading time for dollars, but creating leverage. And Udana, what we do here, and we've set a world record on the dot. We let you have the last word, and we're gonna focus on you. What any last thoughts, or if you want to encapsulate everything we've talked about, go. You got the floor, Udana.
Oh gosh, it's like being human, understanding being human, powered by love, and living fully alive. And you have to we're these amazing souls in these physical bodies on a physical adventure in this 3D world. And you have to have cash flow coming in, and you have to have a healthy body. So those two things, we can live a spiritual life and thrive. But we do have to take care of those other things, because otherwise we can't be autonomous and free. And I got to tell you, when you get to a certain point in your life and you realize, now I know what it works, that's how it works. Took me a long time. At that point, most people's bodies are breaking down, or their brains or something. We don't have to do that now. You can totally be free. So I'm more interested in the freedom. Yeah, money is good. It's really great. Here's the other thing. When I started making money and they started putting money in my bank account on a regular basis, I went, well, what? Okay. All I did was focus on helping people, and it kept getting bigger. And what? What's that? I didn't know that was a CEO's income. But the more people you help, the more you get paid. But you just got to do it right and become the loving. Don't get stuck on particulars.
Well,
That's it.
Udana, thank you so much. This is a world record, an on the dot world record. Udana on the dot, and we've gone, which is wonderful. And everything you said here has a punch and has an impact. And so hopefully people will take this and listen to it again and again. and it's going to be up on the web forever, Udana. So people will be able to watch this for years to come. Your wonderful wisdom about the franchise and how working for yourself, being in business for yourself, but not by yourself, and being your own boss. That's what it's about. And that's what this country, I mean, if you look in an agrarian society, you know, it wasn't the corporate, you know, hierarchy where you had the boss. You lived on the farm, and you had to get up in the morning and plant the crop,
milk the cows.
Yeah. And it's come full circle.
They couldn't do this kind of network marketing has come of age because they couldn't do these kind of compensation plans without sophisticated computers. When I started, I didn't have a cell phone. I mean, I had a cell phone, but not a smartphone. And they didn't have them. But because of this, and then social media, it's now just come of age. It's really important. Do your research. This may or may not be for you as a business, but do your research because this is the golden age for that. Thank you, Michael, for having me. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you so much. Don't hang up because we're going to end the broadcast, but we can stay on here. And I want to thank everyone, and thank you, Udana. We're honored and grateful that you shared your wisdom and knowledge with us. And we just want to ask, can you come back? Can we have you back?
Of course. Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. Wishing everyone a wonderful Wednesday. And we'll be doing more on the dots as often as we can, because we got amazing people like Udana Power out there that want to share their joy, their wisdom, so that you can live a better, healthier, more prosperous life. So with that, thanks everyone, and God bless, and we'll talk soon. Bye, Udana.